Hello and welcome to the Cryptocurrency News channel. Well, it looks like you really can't use customer funds to pay your legal fees. That's right, the Department of Justice has seized about $465 million in Robinhood shares from Investopedia from Sam Bankman-Fried. Now, SBF and his lawyers, of course, were saying that he needed those shares to pay his legal fees. Because remember, Sam Bankman-Fried said he only had about $100,000 left, which is a lie, obviously, because his parents were able to whip out the $4 million they had to collateralize for his bail with their house. And plus, they probably have some properties in Bahamas that we don't really know about yet. But he was planning to actually use the Robinhood shares to pay his legal fees. But the DOJ is like, no, you can't do that because we want them since they're not actually your money. So they're finally doing something right. They're not allowing the Robinhood shares that were bought with stolen customer funds to help pay for SBF's legal fees. So basically, the DOJ seized about $465 million in Robinhood shares from Bankman-Fried and said competing claims to the shares of stock trading app can be resolved through forfeiture proceedings. So SBF is probably going to have to forfeit all these shares. Now, I don't really know if they're going to revert to BlockFi or another party. I think they should actually be used to pay back the victims of this whole scam that SBF was running, but he will not actually be able to use it. As far as I care, he can go and use one of those free public defenders that's paid for by tax money, which each have about roughly 5 minutes to prepare your case because they have so many cases. And plus, his parents are lawyers, right? They're Stanford lawyers. So if he gets desperate, his parents can always represent him. So the other thing is all the other assets of the FTX are actually being seized through separate court filings. There are a lot of claimants onto the Robinhood shares, so I'm not really sure if investors are really going to see any of it. But it is about 56 million shares of Robinhood that were actually seized, and they're going to be handed over to the liquidators to see who actually gets the money. But it is a big chunk of money, almost $500 million. Not nearly the $8 billion that was the hole in FTX's balance sheet. And this honestly might be one of Sam Bankman-Fried's last large holdings that just got seized, which is why he really wants it to pay his legal fees. But just because you don't have money to pay your legal fees because you scam people doesn't mean you get to keep $500 million. So it looks like Sam Bankman-Fried's about $465 million poorer than he actually was, which is actually a very, very good thing. Creditors have already filed court cases to try to gain control of any assets that FTX has. I think these are the big bank creditors. I'm not really sure if there's a class action filing for smaller creditors, to actually get control. The Celsius ruling of the fact that once you deposit your funds in these platforms, they're no longer yours, is not going to help FTX customers, because they'll probably use that as a precedent as well. Although the terms under FTX might actually be different, but we will have to see how that goes. But anyways, those assets no longer belong to Sam Bankman-Fried. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe. Hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.